Thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. Glad you made it today. I wanted to talk to you about priority processing. Priority processing with the VA with regard to your disability compensation claim is a way to expedite the process of your claim. Now, there's several different tracks, 5 primary and then 2 additional tracks that you can apply for priority processing with the VA. So if you're looking for that type of information, which obviously clicked on the thumb, please hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you've been to my channel more than once. Get that over with so that way we can continue to grow this channel and get this word disseminated to all of us, right? So the more that we all know, the better we all do. And then the louder voice that we can have, the better off we all are. So with that, let's get into it. Number 1 for priority processing, and these aren't in any specific order, just the order in which I have them in my mind. So number 1. The number 1 would be financial hardship. So either you have a PG&E turnoff notice, your gas, electric, or whatever utilities you have, a shutoff notice, right? So if you have something like that, or you have an eviction notice, foreclosure notice, anything like that would prove that you have a financial hardship. Let's say you're filing bankruptcy, you can also utilize that paperwork as proof of a financial hardship. Homelessness, if you're living in a shelter, anything like that could also be considered proof for your financial hardship. Now, with that, by the way, I will be putting all this information down below in the description, along with the form that you would use to request your priority processing with the VA for your claim. So next, number 2, let's go to advanced age. So if you're on the older end of the spectrum, this might be something that comes into play. I don't agree with the age in which they set forth. I think it should be younger than this, but it is what it is until we can get it changed. And by we, I really literally mean we as a veteran demographic championing Congress to make a change, right? Working with our congressional representatives to force change in this stuff. I mean, this is how this all happens. So anyway, the way that it is today is if you are working your claim through the regional office, you filed a claim and that's where it's at, and you're just waiting. If you are 85 years of age or older, you can put in for priority processing. Now, there is a caveat. Let's say that you filed your claim and it's processed and it's done. It didn't come back favorable and you filed an appeal, and now it's on to the Board of Appeals to be seen by a federal veterans law judge. If it's in that stage, you can put in for priority processing at the Board of Appeals at age 75. So it's a lower threshold, 75. I think they should both be, 75. Why have the difference between the two? But whatever. So 75. 75 is the age with the Board of Appeals. 85 is the age for the regional office. Number three, if you're terminally ill, if you have a terminal illness that's documented, right? Document that and have that proof sent in along with the priority processing form, and you can get that claim processed quickly. Now, this is really important because if you get service connected for a condition that is either the cause of death or a contributing factor to your cause of death, then your surviving spouse gets to receive dependent indemnity compensation, which can range anywhere from maybe the 1500s to the low 2000s. I don't have the exact figures in my head. But that's a very important benefit. And if you do not have all of your claims in place, well, then there could be some issues there. So proper planning, right? So make sure that we get diagnosed for everything. And this goes back to even before any of this type of stuff, just making sure that we get all of our conditions documented and service connected if applicable. So terminally ill is number 3. Number 4, if you're diagnosed with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, the VA will do expedited processing for you as well. So you would just send in documentation showing that you have that diagnosis along with the form, and then they should go ahead and put you in that priority processing. Number five is if you're seriously ill or if you were injured during your military service, and this is all kind of the transition piece of it all, working with the VA to get that expedited as quickly as possible. So it's not, I was injured because I fell off of a Humvee 15 years ago and now I'm filing a claim for my bad knee because I twisted it when I fell off. Not that injury. Something more severe and more recent, and now you're transitioning, trying to get into the VA so you can continue to get care. So that's kind of the idea behind that on the injured during military service component. The seriously ill piece, there's a little bit of gray area in that. My take is, hey, if you feel as though you are seriously ill and you have a diagnosis for that, put in for the expedited processing and see what happens. I mean, you may or may not get it. Who knows? So that's the top five. Now, the other two kind of doorways in to the expedited processing would be if you are a former prisoner of war. They will expedite processing for you. Priority processing, so that's a good one, and rightfully so. And then number 7 would be if you're a Medal of Honor recipient or a Purple Heart recipient. So if you've received a Purple Heart or Medal of Honor, they will expedite your processing as well with the priority processing form. So you would just send in your for the Medal of Honor and Purple Heart and all that stuff, your applicable award citations, or if the Purple Heart's on your DD-214, what have you, or even your Medal of Honor if it was during your service. So you would send in that proof along with your form, and they should priority process you. Now, the form number is Form 20-10207. So 10207 should be the form, and I'll put a link to that as well, along with all of the other information and kind of a recap on all of these with a little bit of more information, kind of defining each one of those hardships. So again, just to go quickly, number 1, financial hardship, or homelessness. Number 2, advanced age. At the regional office, it's 85. At the Board of Appeals, it's 75. Or if number 3, you're terminally ill. Number 4, you're diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease. Number 5 is you're seriously ill or you had an injury from your military service of which you're trying to get connected so you can get care. Number 6 is POW, former POW. And number 7 would be Medal of Honor or Purple Heart recipient. So with that, we'll go ahead and conclude it. Look at the description below. Thanks again. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.